Hey everybody, it's me out of this world burrito, and we're here with new Legends content with an asterisk. The asterisk being that it's more like renewed content, as the Marauders theme park is once again playable in an NGE era. There have been some expansions to quest lines, dialogues, new rewards. We're going to be going through all of that as well as some side quests, so it's much more than it used to be. So there's definitely a lot of new here. There's probably more new than old in my opinion. But let's go ahead and get started. This is going to double as a walkthrough, and you'll probably already know something new about Vum. Uh, she's got a new look because we're on Endor. Imperial Intelligence reached out to Vum and needed her to do some scouting and reconnaissance because there's been some going-ons here at the Marauder stronghold that's getting some intelligence. The Empire has been increasing activities around this moon recently. So they want to make sure that any neighbors in the area aren't causing too much of trouble. So Vum's camoed out in an appropriate attire for the forest moon of Endor. She's got a new stick there as well. We'll be talking about that later because you might also notice that there's a lot of abilities missing from my toolbar all of a sudden. I may have changed your build, but first, we're out in the woods. And you know we like doing in the woods? We like go camping. So we're going to actually drop a camp here. We're going to be using a camp with a long battery and a shuttle beacon in it. I don't really care about anything else. I just care about battery and shuttle time. And that's because we're going to be coming back here a lot. And in classic camp form, it just messes up the terrain, so that's always fun. Guess careful where you stick it. Cheater? It's not cheater, it's efficiency. Also, Imperial Intelligence has allowed me to camouflage my scout speeder, so we're really aesthetics out. Thanks, Empire. Really using those tax dollars. Either way, we're here at the Marauder Stronghold. Now, this is a point of interest on the map, so if you want to turn on points of interest and mark it and activate it, you could do that to get a waypoint here. Those waypoints seem to not want to report accurate locations or distances sometimes, though. So I'm just going to make a waypoint here as Ryan shows up on a big ugly wheel to mess with me. I'm just going to call it Mr. Marauder Stronghold. And we're going to first march up here, and if you haven't gotten the location badge already, you're going to hit it when you get here, but you want to go to the right. And we want to talk about to Scholar Zingo, as I've been told how to pronounce it, which he says, "If you come to see me, then you've come to work. Are you ready?" Yes. Good. I am Scholar Zingo, scholar of the Marauder tribe. Our scouts encountered a group of pirates. It's likely their ship was shot down. I need you to go and eliminate them. Okay, I can do that. Where are they? Here's their location. We think they have some strong blasters. Take them out, kill their leaders, and then come back to me. Okay, I'll go and do that now. Good. Here's the approximate location for where these pirates are. Thank you. Just come back in one piece. We have work to do. So I don't know why Scholar Zingo is so cool with us. I'm just going to say that this is part of an Imperial outreach program. And they want to make alliances with this faction on the moon. Because maybe it's easier to be friends than it is to be enemies. We'll go with that one for this. If I was Rebel, same difference, but flip it. We're gonna head over to the pirates' location. And as we head over here, we're gonna see there's a bunch of them here. We need to eliminate pirate crew, which is eliminate the pirates and then steal their pirate computers. The computers will drop randomly from the pirates. And the crew, we want to kill are all the level 75s, as you might have seen it in the quest, but if we open up our quest log here, this is for level 75, as this new Marauder theme park content is scaled to be done by people who I'd say around level 80, and it's supposed to help pad the experience gap between, upper 70s, low 80s to 90, giving a pretty good amount of credits overall towards the end. We'll go over credit earned later, but this money is going to be giving us is 9,500. So not a lot to start with. I do want to note that in my inventory, you could see that I have an even 500,000 in cash and bank. That's because I want to track how many credits we have now versus how many credits we have in an end, so you can get an idea of how much money you're going to be making doing this. Because, again, this is to also help put cash in new player pockets. So, now it's time to talk about what's up with Vum's loadout here as I get buffed. So, you all know that Vum's been rocking the melee fit for a long time now. And I love my melee fit. However, some badges are encouraging me to play the game a little bit differently. So, we've gone Beastmaster. If you see my Beastmaster builds guide, this build will look familiar as there's nothing in my first tree. In the second tree, we got all of our buffs, SFP, because I love that stuff. And then in Beastmaster, we've got a full BM build here, all the way down, getting full armor and everything. So I've got a few pets that I'll be showing you. 3 of them are exclusive to Legends, 1 is not, but it's a goodie. The only difference between this build in terms of expertise and the one that I show in that video is I picked up misdirected anger instead of advanced target identification, which misdirected anger puts 50% of the hate I generate onto a specific ally, which can be the pet. See where that's going? Help the pet tank a little bit. And as well as advanced target identification would be more useful if I was more keen about going to PvP because that camo thing, but I'm not doing a ton of damage with paint target and sure shot in this build anyways. So let's see. We don't want to kill the lieutenants or the captain around here, as we're going to get a second objective after completing this one. And if you've watched my previous episodes, you like to know that I don't like waiting for spawns. So we're going to try and stick to the crewmen. So let's use a pet that doesn't have a ton of AoE. So let's take out something that's going to be really good at single targets killing really fast. We'll go with the Vorpal Nort. His name is Yogurt. Please be kind. He's an ugly little man. And he is a bunny. He's part of the bunny family. And you won't recognize this if you haven't been around Legends for a while. This was added to the last Galactic Moon Festival as a drop DNA from the bosses of the Quarantine Zone, Vina, Cornbur, and Undead Rancor. So this is one of those 4 that were added. And it's one of the Legends exclusive ones. So we're going to be using this one, which has the abilities Bite, Claw, Puncture, and Dampen Pain. And new Beastmasters, here's a tip for you. You don't need to make a macro to fire your abilities off all the time. All you need to do is right-click them. And when they have that border around them, that means that they will automatically fire themselves. You don't have to keep spamming an ability or make a macro for it. Similarly, though, if you don't want one to fire, like if you want to control when you activate Dampen Pain, you could, turn that off, activate it when you want. The other thing that I want to note that is because I am an officer with the General's Aspect set, I'm going to be generating action. My Pistol Drill Master buff now includes Soothing Comfort, like I described in that video guide as well. So I'm going to be proccing action off both of those. I could also include Beast Heal in it, but right now I just want to try doing these 2 buffs and see how it goes. All right, so with that said, let's target my Yogurt and put Misdirected Anger on that dairy product. And now let's just start taking out some of these Pyro crewmen. I want them aggressive because I want them to help me out. I am tempted just to SFP them all, but, he's probably good. I'm probably going to end up killing some dudes in the process. So instead, we're just going to mow right through them with Yogurt here. Whoops, dropped a core bomb. Teehee. It's fine. I just want to use artillery. So obviously Yogurt's helping me do a lot of good damage here. They're just melting, obviously, much faster than with my, much faster than I did with my medic. I did my medic already through Themepark solo, and my medic pet's strong pets, but medic itself, not very strong. So we're gonna keep eliminating these. I have also changed the armor that I'm wearing aside from the aesthetics, but we'll talk about that a little bit later as we get some more downtime. As one thing that I do want to note about the Marauder theme park is you're going to be doing a lot of driving. That's why I put that camp there. We're going to be doing a lot of back and forth, and we'll have lots of downtime to reflect on matters. We'll loot these. Looks like I might have got through all the crewmen. Yep. And I still need 2 computer pieces, and there's another player driving out here. Or past me? Please keep going. Oh no, we're gonna have to fight over a spawn. Yeah, so the spawn timer on these NPCs isn't very long. I don't, but it's still new content. People are doing it, so it can be somewhat competitive sometimes. So someone just going by on a skiff. But I always recommend that if you're in an area and it looks like you 2 are working on the same thing, try and combine groups. Ran into that when I was doing this with Griffin Striker. Well, I was just like, we're out trying to defeat some of the NPCs for a quest, and like, hey, how about you just join our group, and then we don't have to fight over it. And then it went faster for everybody. All right, so we've completed our first objective. Now we have to kill the pirate captain and the lieutenants. And you will see Ryan likely talking throughout this in the bottom left there in my chat. He was one of the devs who worked on this and kind of pushed this one forward to be a major piece of content for the server. So he might be dropping trivia for everybody. I'm glad you didn't make this. I'm glad you made the spawn shorter. Gotta think of throughput on this one, gamer. Think of it like a roller coaster ride. What's the throughput on this sucker? Back to all content quests to that guy? Yeah. Yeah. Just at Ryan in the Legends Discord. Send all questions his way. Yogurt's gonna feed that pirate up for me when I say, read the pirates eliminated. You've gone ahead and eliminated the pirates. As requested by Scholar Zingo, you should go back and check in with him and report on your progress. Okay. And we've completed that quest. So one thing you're gonna notice with a lot of the quests here is once you complete them, it's not like other quests where it might give you the objective to go back to somebody. It'll just tell you to go do it and won't add it back to your quest log. That's designed by intention. So keep that in mind when doing this, which is why I said make a waypoint or activate that waypoint, because you're going to be going back to the stronghold. And you don't want to forget to do it. We're back with Scholar Zingo, who says, that blasted witch Charal, she raided the pirate ship before us. All the parts you picked up were broken. She took everything useful. The marauders who carried out her orders must pay for their treachery. Find and eliminate them. They must all be loyal to King Terak, or they must die. Okay, I'll go deal with them. And do not worry, I will shield you from King Terak's rage. I will make him understand that this is the doing of Charal and her treachery. This one goes up from level 75 to level 77. We get a little bit more credits and experience from this one, so we'll accept that. Who is Charal, if you don't know? She's not part of the Marauders. She's a Dathomiri witch who was exiled to the planet of Endor, and she wants to leave, just like the rest of them. So, but she's not... She decides to work through manipulation rather than cooperation. But after we've spoken to and did a quest for Scholar Zingo, you want to come up to the end of the stronghold, and you'll see this big cage with a Ewok in it named Meeply. Speaking to Meeply, he says, hey, you, I saw you talking with Scholar Zingo. If you're going to help him, maybe you can help me. Two, I might be able to help, but who are you, and how do you speak Basic? I am Meeply, of the Bright Tree Village. I was captured by these marauders under the influence of that witch, Charal. Her magic has made it possible for me to speak Basic. I do not know how or why it happened. Please, though, will you help me? Maybe, what do you need? When I was caught by these marauders, one of the scouts took something of mine. It is a very special necklace that has been in my family for generations. If I am to die here, I would very much like to die with it on me. I'm pretty sure that scout is with the group that raided the crashed pirate's ship. Could you get it back for me? Okay, I can bring back this family heirloom, maybe. Thank you, stranger. This means a lot to me. Another level 77 quest. So the reason we didn't speak with Meeply earlier is Meeply and other side quests will only become available once you get to a specific point doing what's the main quest line that starts with Scholar Zingo. So that's the first instance you can speak with Meeply, and we're going to head over to the Traitor Marauder camp. Why are they traitors? Well, maybe we'll figure out that in a little bit. I don't want to give any spoilers. So we're here at the camp. Meeply wants you to go to the specific waypoint, so before you do anything here, make sure you run through and trigger it so you get the Retrieve Meeply's Family Heirloom. We're going to switch the quest over to the other one, though, which is Kill Traitors and Kill the Traitors Leader, which the Traitors Leader is, yes, the lieutenant standing there. Yogurt was pretty handy, but there's a few dudes here, and I'm okay with using AoE this time, so let's bring out my wing-clipped hawkbat, Vesper. She's a good girl. What's a little bit different about her, she has Wind Buffet. It's probably my favorite pet AoE, because specifically, you know, it's just got the shortest cooldown, and it does the glancing blow debuff that I love. Let's not forget to put Misdirected Anger on her. We run officer buffs, so she has those as well. Favor the Elders. And we're going to run over, and we'll start with the leader here. Which we got the necklace, also from the leader, which says, necklace found. From the corpse of the Marauder, you find a small necklace made of twine and small yellowish-white gemstone engraved in a simple piece of rock. You should bring this back to Meeply. We will do that. But first, I have to stack up some bodies in the name of King Terak. The Wing-Clipped Hawkbat is one of my, I'd say, top 3 pets in the SWG. I just love the big bat. There's only 3 bats on the server still at this point. The Gacklebat, the Borgle, and this one. This one's obviously the cutest. Borgles are disgusting, and Wing-Clipped Hawkbats aren't much better. Can you stop running? I'm gonna have to use a gun if you run. But we got information found on a piece of flimsy in some poor and hard-to-read handwriting. You can make out that Charal is sending her assistant, Lizard Man, capital L, to retrieve herbs and other items for a ritual of some sort. You should report this back to the Scholar. So we're all done here. And we're going to head back, talk to the Scholar, and talk to Meeply. I'm a Pokemon trainer. Yeah, I've got to catch them all. Too bad my data pad is more limited than my Pokebox. Who says, King Terak was not pleased by the death of his men. Unfortunately, the witch used her sorcery to trick him, make him think she had nothing to do with it. The king, great and just as he is, will forget about the death of his warriors if you deal with the threat to him and us. What must I do to avoid execution by the king? Like he can do it. You must kill a brood of arachne that have been attacking our outposts and patrols. Fine, eliminate it. This goes up from 77 to 78. We'll accept that. So we gotta go squish some spiders. But before we go out squishing spiders, let's go back up here and speak with Meeply, who's still trapped in this cage, and give him back his necklace, which he does ask, have you found the necklace? I have found it. You hand it over to Meeply. The Ewok lets out a squeal of delight as he takes it and hugs it. Oh, thank you so much. And then we complete that. But if you speak with Meeply again, he'll just say thank you for providing my necklace. So you will be able to speak with Meeply more later on. But first, we gotta go track down some of these threats to King Terak. So if we come to the first waypoint, we get this update that says the first location appears to bear of any arachne activity. You spot some signs of blurred tracks, but otherwise no recent activity as far as you can tell. If you hit OK, it then updates and gives you another location to go to. Now, if you're doing this in a group, and say someone's riding co-pilot, side seat, sidecar, and you run over the waypoint, trigger it, they'll need to make sure they hit the OK in that box before you run over the second one, else you have to turn around and grab it. The location scouting. Scouting the next valley, you end up finding a few destroyed egg nests, but no signs of the recent arachne activity. Time to move on and check the next location. Okay. You have the badge for your own content now. Yay! Good job. Surprised you didn't have it already. I guess it's hard to do the content when you're busy making and fixing it. There's a nearly destroyed pile of rocks. I can guess why that's there. Alright, we come to the third location, which we updates to arachne spotted. As you enter another valley, you hear skittering in the underbrush. The arachne that have been plaguing the Marauders have been found. Eliminate them. Alright, so just like last time, we're here to kill all spiders. So we're just gonna, you know, not hold anything back here as we admire this Wookiee dancing with their chemo on the hill. Alright. Vesper would be more helpful if I made her defensive, huh? So she actually goes and hits stuff. Alright, so while we're here, we need to keep a lookout for mature eggs, just like this one, which is much smaller than it was at release. Now they're tiny. Tiny little mature eggs. And they do spawn randomly now, so they're not in the same spot all the time. Yeah, to Ryan's point. This one, they were fixed locations, and you just run and click 5 of them. They were a little bit bigger. Now they're a little bit tinier. But as we're hunting them, we still have to eliminate webmasters. Not the kind that manage your website. Alright, so we just defeated the last webmaster. We just need to finish finding and destroying egg deposits wherever they may be around here. Unfortunately, these things are called a mature egg, so I don't think I can target them. There's one, and squish one more, 2. Alright, we can go back to the Scholar now. This is the reason, though, why I dropped that camp, so I could just fly out to where I can call my ship, and then just take it over. Alright, we're back with Scholar Zinga, who says, have you taken care of those nasty, nasty spiders? See, I can get on that page. All done and eliminated, Scholar. Excellent. You've done some good work for me and for the tribe as a whole. The king will soon forget the loss of his warriors since you've done this. Go speak with Fightmaster. He may have need of your skills to continue supporting our people. Alright. He's gotta be like a superhero or something named Fightmaster, right? Yeah, disgusting AF spiders. Here's Fightmaster Jorak, who says, those who challenge Fightmaster Jorak face certain death. Like he's a freaking speed racer, dub. No, I'm not trying to challenge you. You do not challenge me? Why are you here? I'm here to help the tribe. Scholar Zingo sent me. Very well. Kill the Bloodseekers that attack our livestock. Then you will show your bravery. What's a Bloodseeker? It's a great many-legged creature. They are fierce and relentless. We call them the Chirping Death. Maybe that is not such a good name, not fearsome. The Bloodseeker is fearsome. Will you kill them? Yes. Face the Bloodseekers and kill them. Their colony must be destroyed. Then you will prove yourself worthy to stand with Fightmaster Jorak. This is level 80, so we're bumping up the difficulty by 2 levels. He kind of talks like my young nieces. That doesn't sound fearsome, but they are fearsome. All right, out of the first waypoint, we see no mites here. You stand atop the mountain. Yeah, I'm atop it. Off in the distance to the east, you see the Marauder stronghold. Looking around you, though, you find no sign of Bloodseeker activity. It's time to move on. You think you should keep going through the hills and forests. Is it to the east? It is to the east. Thanks for the accurate writing. All right, moving on to the second waypoint, we have no mites here. As you stand amidst the hills of the Endor, you look down to the valley, and you see no Bloodseekers in this area. It's time to move on. Let's go to our next potential mite activity spot, which I can already see them. Found them. You've descended into one of the valleys of Endor. And as the trees lessen around you, you hear the skittering of feet. There they are, Bloodseekers. Okay, so we're going to dismount. For this one, we just need to kill everything again. So we're just going to bring out Vesper once more. She's hungry anyway. She'll eat some mites, probably. Not normally in her diet, but, you know, when you're around. And then one more thing that I want to do while we're here is you should do the command / waypoint and write Bloodseekers to save this location for later. I will explain why later. Just make the waypoint here, trust me. And let's go eliminate some Bloodseeker mites. So you're probably looking at Vum right now and being like, dang, Vum's not really taking any damage. I mean, Vum's strong, but she's usually not this strong. That's part of the gear change. I'll explain that again when we have some more time driving and I'm not up to my dog hands and giant mites. But yeah, Vum's a little bit more durable now. All right, next we have to defeat the Chirping Death. And you might think that the Fightmaster was referring to Album. No, he's more referring to the Bloodseeker Matriarch, who's just a big mite, level 84. You're probably curious about some of my other pets that I have, so let's bring out my other friend here. This is a unique to Legends. Her name is Vis, but she is a Vorpal Kima. Again, one of the new Vorpal creatures out of the Galactic Moon Festival last year, found the same way as the Nord, as drop DNA from the Quarantine Zone bosses. Feline, so we got Flank and a lot of good single targeting attack abilities. Flank, of course, giving us extra crit chance. Let's get it. Let's get this Chirping Death out of here. I don't think it's gonna live for very long. Even though I didn't even activate any of my specials. That was a handicap for it, I swear. Scattered the colony. Not that the matriarch and her mites are dead. The remaining colony will scatter. Report your success back to the Fightmaster. Yeah, so a little behind the scenes here. I finished learning pet abilities before the stream. Before the recording this. I spent the latter half of last week trying to smash out leveling up 4 pets. And then, yeah. It took me longer to learn pet abilities than I thought, because my luck's crap. So there you go. Now you know. We're back with Fightmaster Jorak, who says, you have killed the Bloodseekers. You may be a worthy warrior yet. You still have much to learn, and prove to match Fightmaster Jorak. How can I prove myself? The tribe faces a new danger, the Blurgs. At the old rock quarry, 8 of the stinking vermin weed, which drive them to fury. Stinky weeds would make me mad too. Now the Blurg knocks over trees, homes, children. Knocks over children, damn. Kill the Blurg and prove your bravery. Okay, but what is a Blurg? Big lizard. Walks on its hind legs. Their alpha is 3-toe. The children call it that. We tame it as a mount. It is strong but stupid, and when driven to fury, it is dangerous. Will you kill it? I will. But where are they? We've moved west. They've moved west. Our scouts tracked them and saw them moving into the past. Old core. I don't know what it is. Reading this guy's dialogue in particular is shutting my brain down. Okay, I will go get them down. You will be known as a proud warrior when you kill the Crimson Blurg. And this is level 83, so again, not ratcheting up the difficulty on the quest, but before we head out to get some Blurg, you know, Meeply's been in this cage for a bit. I wonder if he's hungry. Meeply, how's it going? Thank you for helping me again, Vum, but I need your help again. How can I help? They've barely fed me anything here. If you can get me any food, that would be appreciated. What can I get you, Meeply? Anything. Meat, fruit, berries, anything. If you get me meat, I can try and smoke and dry it down on the little fires they allow me to make in here. Let their prisoners make tiny fires? Okay, I'll try and get you some meat, Meeply. It's greatly appreciated, Vum. You've started to give me a hope that I'll survive this. And now you see one of the unique rewards for this Themepark was the Marauder Bicep Left style too. What's different about it with the normal Marauder Bicep, you may ask? Great question. I'll answer that later once we get it, because it's more of a show, don't tell kind of thing. Coming up with the first point, we get attacked by a Manticore. Get the hell out of here, dude. I gotta read that tracks lead into the mountain. This is with an S. Based on the information given to you by the Fightmaster, you know the Blurgs were originally at the old quarry and have since moved into the mountains. Now, after some searching, you found tracks leading further west. Okay. Right. So, if you're wondering why I got that message twice, it's because Meeply's quest also has you track the Blurgs, so I had to do that twice. If you're like, wait a second, why did you get the same message? That's not a bug. That's just how that's structured. So let's move over to the next step point, which we get a message that reads... The herd moves west. You found fresh traces of their excrements, along with indented ground. You know you're on the right track. Same message for Meeply. They both update. And here we have herd spotted. You've got a direct look at the herd. They're down below in the valley. After following the tracks, broken sticks, and logs, and freshly eaten foliage, you've been able to find the herd. Okay. So for Meeply, we got to collect 15 flanks. 15 flanks, but let's mark the other quest. Which has us just murder, but we don't want to kill the boss again. So again, this is kind of like a kill all sons of Blurgs. So we're gonna actually put this away. We're gonna bring Vesper back out, feed her, buff her, pet her. And she's not dead, she's just curling up because I pet her. That's the laying down animation. It kind of looks like they're dead, but that's just them sleeping. I swear, she's just sleeping. All right, let's you know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do, everybody. You know what Burrito's gonna do. He's gonna get attacked before he can activate his AoEs. That's what he's going to do. All right, so we already have 3 left to kill, but we still need 9 more Blurg. Thanks. Damn. Those are Tauntauns. Who are you trying to fool? Shh, don't let on. Everyone will find out Koopas are just Tauntaun reskins. You can't let them know. All right, we've eliminated all of the Blurg that we need to eliminate. Oh no, they slowed me. Oh well. And now we have to take on Three-Toe. I don't know why I refer to it as the Crimson Blurg. Also, fun fact, see this? 3 toes. They all have 3 toes. Again, I think it's supposed to be like they refer to all these creatures as 3 toes, but then they also call them Blurgs, so whatever. No, I'm not switching to the cat this time. I think if there's anything that I've shown is I don't really need to worry about single target DPS at the moment. But we defeated 3-Toe. You've done it. After eliminating 3-Toe and the herd, you know you can head back to the Fightmaster and report your success to him. Man, we really did eliminate the herd here. However, we cannot go back to the Fightmaster and report our success yet because I still need 6 more Blurg flanks, which it looks like they're just starting to spawn now. So let's see if we can get some better luck on the drops here. Flanks collected. You gathered the flanks for Meeply and should bring them back to his cell. All right, now we can go back. Can I call it here? No. So previously you were able to call ITVs on top of many of the quest locations, but I think that doesn't work anymore because... Holy shit, Bingephants spawn out here? I thought they only spawn in the southeast. What? Sorry. I've never seen Bingifants in the Southwest. I've heard they could spawn over here, but I've never seen them. These are a Legends creature. They're cute. They're like little raptor guys. They're in the Reptavian family. Did a YouTube short about that one. Very good. Might have to get that as a pet. Added to the list. What was I saying? Before I got distracted by Bingifants? Oh, my brain just went full like, ooh, look at the animal. And then just totally forgot what I was talking about. So, hopefully I got to the point. If not, that information's lost to time. All right, let's speak to our Ewok Neeply first, because he's starving, apparently. Have you been able to get some meat? I did. Here it is. You hand over the meat to Meeply, who takes it and begins greedily eating one of the pieces. You have done me a great deal. I am thankful for you. Let me stash this away, and then we can plan our next move. So let me explain the Marauder left bicep here. So those familiar with the Marauder assault armor, I believe it is. Yeah, assault armor. It has mismatched biceps. So one of them has a long overhang like this, and then the other one is cut shorter. So what the style 2s are is it's the identical look, but flipped to the other shoulder. So now if you want a Marauder assault bicep on both right and left biceps that has the long protrude, you can do it. Or if you want one that has the short part, you can do it. So that's what these rewards are. And Meeply doesn't have anything else for us right now, so we'll check back in with him later. He's gonna be busy smoking some meat. But we're gonna come back to Fightmaster Jorak, who says, it is bad when the little Kremers get the patch skin sickness. The big beasts eat the sick Remers, and the sickness drives the big things mad. A Mantigrew has gone mad and threatens the tribe. Kill it to prove your might. Okay, but what is a Mantigrew, and don't you have warriors of your own to do this? Of course we do, but you look to prove yourself, so you must do this. A Mantigrew, though. Some call it a condor dragon, big-scaled flying monster. The young, they dream bad dreams about it. Will you kill it? Yes, where can I find it? Follow the trails north and west, you shall find it. Against the Mantigrew, even I, Fightmaster Jorak, have taken wounds. Watch for its claws. And then this is your first group quest in the chain, where we're going to be fighting a particularly tough enemy at level 84, but it's going to reward us with a bit more credits and XP than the previous quests. A lot of this is the original dialogue. Fun fact, that's cool. You don't have to change too much then. I can kind of tell with the Jorak. Seems a very specific writing style they were going for with that one. Before we head off to take on the Mantigrew, though, I think it's time to introduce our fourth and final pet. This is Hoogerwerf, my rat. He's a Vorpal Womp rat. Again, unique to Legends and added with the Galactic Moon Festival last year as a DNA drop. You won't see the fourth one today. That one's the Vorpal Gubber. It's a toad, undead toad. That's great too, but amphibians don't have great moves, so whatever. But this guy's gonna be my guy who tanks things. And apparently he seems very excited about being on Endor. I'm excited about being on Endor too, buddy. Here's some food. But what I want to mention is let's talk about Vum's gear a little bit. So first of all, Vum's armor that she's rocking right now is battle armor with block on it. So we have precision, strength, block value. I've dropped constitution. And what that's going to do is precision and strength are both giving me block chance. Strength is also giving me some block value and some melee bonuses, as well as some other stats, which like precision's giving me some parry chance. And block value is mitigating or increasing the amount of damage I mitigate while blocking. Now, some of you might say, hey, Burrito, I thought block suits aren't good anymore. I thought they're not good in this version of the game. For PvP, yeah, I wouldn't use a block suit. The only people who could pull off block in PvP is like Jedi, maybe in certain situations, gonna put a big asterisk there, and Frontman Commandos because the Frontman set is just so loaded. Even then, you usually don't run a block suit on top of that. Can though. But the reason it's good for PvE is in PvE, the majority of the time you're taking a lot of smaller hits, which is more beneficial in the terms of blocking. Because if you're blocking, say, 500 damage and you have, a block value that's mitigating 300 of that damage, now you're only taking 200. Where if you're doing glancing blows all the time, you're mitigating 60% of that damage, which might not be as much, yada, yada, yada. Or more importantly, in PvP, the reason you see people stacking dodge with agility and luck more often is because getting hit for like 9k damage from the bounty hunter with the flawless rifle shot it doesn't matter how much you're going to... Blocking is not really going to block much of that proportionally. Glancing would be nice, but you can still get glance while running, dodge leaning. But for PvE, this is situationally useful, but why it's so useful in a Beastmaster build is let's open up my skill mods. I talked about this in the Beastmaster build video right now. So you can see my stats here, right? If we put my pet away and make sure that these are the stats that I have while my pet's put away. While pets are summoned, you confer some of those bonuses to themselves. So right now with my pets put away, I have 27.5% block, 25.5% dodge, yada, yada, yada. So you can see, okay, well, those are pretty good odds of, mitigating damage, avoiding damage or whatever. But let's bring my Womp Rat back out. And now we're going to run Favor of the Elders here to refresh my buff stats again. So watch these values as I refresh. And then give it a moment. Wait for it. Wait for it. Sometimes it takes a minute. There it goes. So now you see that shot up by about a little over 3%. Dodge up by a little bit over 2%. That's because I'm inheriting some of these values over here. If you want a full explanation, again, go watch my builds for Beastmaster's Guide. But basically, I'm pushing my defensive as well as some of my offensive values like critical hit chance up by just having a pet out and existing with a pet. So since my defensive values are getting pushed further, there's more opportunities to block because defensive values in Star Wars Galaxies are additive in order of appearance. So like I have a 29.2% chance to dodge, but if I don't dodge, then it'll go to parry if I have a melee weapon out. But then it's 29.2 plus 12.9. So my parry is actually way higher than just 13% parry. And since block comes at the end, you're going to have the highest additive to block here. So you're going to be having a pretty good odds of blocking a lot of things in PvE. There's better explanation of that on the wiki, and there's other members of the community that can explain it better. So I'm not going to get into numbers because I'm sure that I get twisted at some point. But that's the general gist of how that works. So the idea is by pushing up the chance of defensive values happening, like block, and then rewarding that with a higher block value from the suit, you make yourself tankier. And this seems to work pretty well for people who like to do Beastmaster in the Hollow Knight arena on Bespin. That's how some commandos and officers and other professions are pushing obscenely high scores by themselves, is because they're utilizing this block technique. As for my exotics, we're running block chance, glancing blow increase, because there's not too much better else to run for PvE, and healing potency, because we're just going to lean into the full tanking aspect. As for my new melee weapon, Buns sat on, you can see that it has electricity, so we're going to be getting that proccing glance on enemies. It'll add that 75% chance on top of them trying to attack me to glance. So basically, I've made it as hard as possible for them to get a normal hit off of me as possible. If their hits aren't being blocked and glanced, they're at least maybe being blocked or glanced, basically, by the end of the dice roll, as long as they're not critting me, or more importantly, doing a punishing blow, but there's nothing I can do about punishing blow. So, with that said, and that explained, you now have an idea why I'm taking out my pets for a lot of these fights, as they do more than just damage. Similarly, that is the explanation that I hope is sufficient to get people interested in maybe trying a more variety of builds with Beastmaster and doing things that are more specialized. Beastmaster is a really good tool for specializing in certain aspects of the game. You can also build as a generalist, but generally you're more rewarded for just hyper specializing in something. In Star Wars Galaxies, being a generalist is more rewarded in solo play, but then, you can just become like me and carry on like 3 or 4 sets of armor. But as we come up to the first waypoint, stats report. As you enter the clearing, you check the ground and listen to the sky around you. You see no sight of the Mantigrew. However, you hear the flapping of wings, large wings, off in the distance, maybe getting close. Well, there's some Mantigrew. Those aren't the ones I'm looking for, though. Stats report. As you reach the edge of the river, you see it off in the distance, the Mantigrew, large and proud, flying amongst the trees. You are close to the Mantigrew. So at the next spot, the Mantigrew is going to appear, and we are going to have to fight it. I would recommend that you are fully buffed and ready for this encounter, especially if you're like me and you're out here by yourself. So we're going to give Misdirected Anger to Hoogerwerf, so he has an easier time keeping attention. Refresh my power-ups here. I do have some defense-oriented power-ups, but I'm still using one-handed damage because don't think I really need them right now. And I think we're good to just take them on. What's that sound? What's that sound? Off in the distance, you hear it. The sound of the underbrush being brushed aside, knocked over. Something is heading your way. Okay. Oh, it's coming in 20 seconds. Before, it just came out and pantsed me. Now he has some time. Some time to kill. All right, there's the Mantigrew, an Elder Mantigrew. So my Womp Rat here has a few moves that are helping out. First of all, he has Provoke, as well as Misdirected Anger, so there's very low odds that I'm going to be having to worry about getting any aggro. But you can see that he's taking some pretty good damage there. So we want to keep him healed, we want to keep the action flowing. And with that, Mantigrew has been slain. With the Mantigrew killed, you can now return to the Fightmaster to claim your reward. You killed the Mantigrew, yay! And we've completed it. Alright, let's head back to the Fightmaster. Back with the Fightmaster. He says, "You have done a great honor, my people. Your work is not done, though. I heard whispers that Charal wishes to see you." So finally, we're meeting the infamous Charal, who has been going against maybe the wishes of the Marauder people, but let's see. As you enter the hut, you find yourself overwhelmed by the aromas coming from Charal's candles. Apparently, it's making me sick. I'm vomiting. Right on her good slippers. "Hello there. You have the distinct honor of being spoken to by Charal, Witch Queen of this god-forsaken moon. You have come to serve my desires, have you not?" You don't want to be here on Endor? Who would? This blighted excuse for a moon is not what I had in mind when I escaped my home planet of Dathomir. After my concoction has come to completion, I will know how much longer I must remain upon this nightmare of a world. Have you chosen yet? I guess so. Sure, I'll help you. Yes, my pretty, you have made the correct choice. I'm in need of a spleen from a healthy specimen of those disgusting rodents. Sure, I can get you one, but from what kind of rodent? Ewoks, of course. Bring me a spleen from one of those disgusting, filthy creatures, and you will please me greatly. I don't like the way you phrase that, but sure. We'll go collect Ewok spleens. Vum's no stranger to spilling a little bit of Ewok blood. Unfortunately, it wasn't intentional. They just won't let me take their collection item, okay? Alright, so now that we're here at the Bright Village, I have to collect pristine Ewok spleens. We're going to be causing a lot of havoc here. So I think we want to take out our big bat. As she will definitely help us do a little bit more AoE here. So I'd be careful when initiating combat with the Ewoks. There's a lot of them. And they have some nasty abilities that you'll probably see shortly here. So I'm not being too gung-ho about, you know, AoE. Now we've cleared a few, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with dropping the bombs. Let's disable Wind Buffet here and see if we could pull just a... Nope. So if you've been watching my debuff bar during these fights, you'll see that they have a few spy abilities. They have a poison, they have Arachnid's Web. Okay, you want to leave the village after you see this. Don't click this OK button. Searching for the clean spleen. You've collected what you believe is a few pristine Ewok spleens in the hope that they will be acceptable for Charal. Now you must bring them back to her. Wait, what's that? What's the sound in the distance? More bright tree warriors. They must be trying to avenge their fallen. So now we have an ambush in 14 seconds. Again, looks like they added a timer, so you're not pantsed immediately. The Ewoks in that village respawn pretty quickly, so you don't want to be there when they, when you get jumped. Trust me, this might be more dangerous than the Mantigrew. At least on jump. Alright, we survived that without too much trouble thanks to big AoEs. With the ambush defeated, you now know you can return to Charal with the spleens. And we've completed that quest. Let's take our pristine Ewok spleens back to the witch. We're back with Charal, who says, "Sniff, sniff. Yes, yes, this will do. Once this is added to my poultice, poultice, I'll know if I should continue working with this fool of a Marauder. You have served me well. I'm glad I could help." She waves her hand as she lets out a wicked laugh. You feel yourself nodding, agreeing with her for some reason. You've been a good minion thus far, but I have need of your services more. Of course, Witch Queen. Now, my dearest, my poultice now that will allow me to divine the future now needs the next ingredient. I will be pleased if you find any servant whom has yet to return with it. Will you, my pretty? Yeah, my servant has a very keen nose for a certain type of herb that grows within the forest. He should have enough fresh leaves by now. Charal sighs. He is quite dumb and forgetful. You nod listening. What I would give for a more intelligent servant. Now, will you do this? Of course, mistress. Good, you should be able to find him in the forest. Do not be afraid when you gaze upon him. He is a lizard man. That was stranded here as well. Have him follow you back. Except level 85. He's a lizard man. I think we've met a few lizard men in our time on the game, so I don't think we'd be surprised when we see him. So now that we have to go meet Lizard Man, this is a point to make. This is the furthest out we're going to have to travel from the stronghold. He's about a little over 3,000 meters away. All the other quest objectives can generally be completed within the 2,000 meter radius of the stronghold. That was part of the intended design, as so I've been informed by the developers. There is one that might have us going a little bit further out, but again, we'll get there when we get there. All right. So instead, let's just take this time to enjoy the sights of Endor as we travel across it. Ape cheeks. We come to the first point. It says a lack of lizard man. After traveling from the Marauder stronghold, you hit the first area and find no sign of lizard man or his tracks. Seems he didn't go to this location. Okay. Coming up on our second point though, and no lizard man. Lizard man isn't in the location, but you recently trampled grass. But the recently trampled grass and bushes, so he could have come through here recently. All right. All right, we're coming over to the third spot, and it looks like I see lizard man here. Lizard man located. Off in the distance, you see it. A large green Trandoshan running away from Ewoks. You should help him out before it's too late. All right. I'm gonna have to fight some Ewoks out of nowhere. Let me get Vesper out. Lizardman's log. Written in some horrible handwriting is a note from Lizardman. A call for help, saying that Charal will kill him if she's able to. He'll go back for now, as her influence on the world means he is not safe. But he wants you to help him get free of Charal's influence. Okay. Except, we click on Lizardman, though, he says, the being seems to snap out of his confusion. What? Where am I? Oh, Criff. Does my head hurt? You step back, giving Lizardman a minute. He comes to you. He comes to you after a moment, nods at you. Thank you, but I feel her influence coming back. Whose influence? The witch. She enslaved me. You have to do something. Help me, please. Okay, what can I do? He says, Criff, thank you. Talk to the scholar. He'll know what to do. Lizardman kneels over, vomiting and coughing. After a moment, you hear him muttering, Mistress Mad, must return back. And we're going to accept his level 83 crest. So what we're going to do is while we're here, just in case we forget where he is, we're going to do a waypoint to Lizardman. The other thing that I would recommend is that if you have a programmable instant travel vehicles on ITV, like the G9 or the Snowspeeder from Hoth, call it the G9 or your ITV of choice and put a spot here to Lizardman. Because you're going to have to come back here, and he is 3,300 meters from the, stronghold. So I'd rather not drive back here. But for now, we're going to call out and go back to our camp. All right, back at the stronghold. Let's see what Scholar Zingo has to say for us here. Ah, my friend, you've come back. How can I assist you? Scholar Zingo, I need your help. Charal has enslaved a Trandoshan, and he's asked for my help. The blasted witch, she's gone too far. I cannot help you in this, as I am still dealing with the fallout from our work together, but my apprentice can help you. Okay, where can I find them? You can be found outside the stronghold, to the east, studying herbs in my orders. Oh, studying herbs on my orders. The guy already read them. Tell them I sent you, and put everything they can into this task. Thank you, Scholar Zingo. My pleasure. We must do what we can to stop Charal. All right, we'll go talk to the apprentice for a minute, but first Charal wants our attention again, so we're going to head back up. See King Terak, ignore him, He doesn't want to talk to us yet, so let's not even bother. And we'll speak with Charal in the back of the stronghold once more. There you are, Lizardman. Oh, how I missed you. So yeah, pretend Lizardman's standing here, because he's supposed to follow us back. You have stayed out for far too long. Are you alright? Good. Now, give me those leaves. I take a step back and watch Charal berate the Trandoshan. Yet, I feel oddly compelled to keep watching. Weird. I don't like what I'm developing here. Now, you have done well for me, Vom Valimo, but I have need of you still. What do you need of me, Dark Mistress? Yes, my poultice is nearing the final stage. You have returned with near perfect timing, my dearie. I command you to return with an Ewok, so that it may provide the final ingredient. What do you need another Ewok for? How dare you question me? I am your master worm, not the other way around. You feel a wave of darkness wash over you, and you feel less compelled to question her. You involuntarily flinch away from her. You cannot begin to fathom the great mysteries I and my sisters understand. Do not presume to wonder why I gave you that request. You do as I command. I do as you command, great mistress. This is better. Now go. Find me an Ewok. Make sure you don't harm it too much. I need one globule spittle fresh from its vicious little fangs. Specific that you need Ewok spit. But okay. We'll get right on that. But first I'm going to go talk to Zingo's apprentice outside the stronghold, as this is a quest that we want to start moving along sooner than later. So helping out Lizardman is the second main side quest in the theme park, the first one being Meeply, and helping out the Ewok Meeply. But this next one is going to take a bit of time, so we want to start it now, because maybe we can save a little time on it while we're working on some of the other quests. You're likely still going to have to mark out to complete aspects of it later on, but hey, man, that's how it goes sometimes. When we come up to Ragloth, I'm going to call him Rag. What do you need? Can't you see I'm busy? Scholar Zingo sent me to you. He said you would help with creating a potion to free Lizardman of Charal's influence. Ah, he sent a runner to inform me of your arrival. Yes, I can help with that. We will need a variety of herbs and organic material to allow us to pull this off. Well, let's get to work then. Good. Give me a few minutes to finish this up, and then we shall begin. Which, yeah, basically, so we see we got a waypoint to Lizardman. We actually need to go back and talk to Lizardman before we can do this. Progress this. But that's the opposite direction of our Ewoks. So let's go do the Ewoks first. All right, we're coming up on our first potential Ewok location. And are they here? There's some Mariks here. Trampled grass, but nothing here. Aside from some trampled grass, the first area of activity is devoid of Ewoks. Time to move on and keep looking. Ewok playable species when? Sometime after Chist and Moon. Second location checked. Aside from the trampled grass, the first area of activity is void of Ewoks. Time to move on and keep looking. You love to play as a Chist dude? Yeah, you just want to be a blue man? The exile member of the blue man group? Alright, look, this looks like an Ewok village to me. What's that noise? As you come to the clearing, you hear movement in the nearby underbrush. There's sounds all around you. You found the Ewoks. Take them out and capture one. Okay. By taking them out to a nice forest-style dinner? I don't know. Seems not. Ewoks cleared. With the Ewok hordes cleared out. This is their home. Whatever. You see a younger Ewok left alive. This may not be exactly what Charal wants, but I'll have to do. Bring it to Charal. Kish Toto Tama want with Fector and Shiyu family. Having eliminated the other Ewoks, you tie up this young Ewok to bring it back to Charal. Den Fectar Yub Yub. And we've completed that level 85 quest. We gotta go back to Charal, but before we do, it's Lizardman time. What is this pillar? Oh, is this one of the non-POI POIs? What? Is this a bunch of Dark Force users hanging out with a pillar out here? Okay, cool. Love the non-POI POIs. Always weird. After a quick hop and a skip, we're back with Lizard Man, who says, "You back? Why back? I just want to tell you that I have a lead. We're making a potion. You'll be freed soon." Think Lizard Man seems to be stuck on an internal battle that happens within him. But the thanks are heard, at the very least. Plan your next steps. With Lizard Man informed, you should return back to the Apprentice Scholar to plan your next steps and freeing Lizard Man. Alright. Now we go back, find the Scholar, and also we need to talk to Charal. Back with Charal, and we have a young Ewok in our captivity. Charal says, "Good, good. Now that I have this little runt, it won't be too long to coax a little spit from its maw. You have done well. I will have need of you when I am done." You wait some time, then hear Charal begin cackling. "Mwahaha! My potion was a success. I'm able to foresee many visions due to my powers as a sister. I have one last command for you, servant. Then I shall actually release you." "What are your visions about?" "Oh, how cute. My servant asked about my visions. As if you could even begin to understand. Well, Worm, my visions show me many ships landing on this planet in the near future. I will use a fabled comlink to steal these ships. Then I can leave these filthy marauders for good. Now do as I say. Feel compelled to obey, and the only thing you're able to mutter is, 'I live only to obey, my dark mistress.' You are such a wonderful little servant. Now go. Find a group of recently crashed survivalists who have this supposed comlink. With this item, I will be able to escape this planet. Level 85. All right, let's accept it. We need to go head over to the crash shuttle, but first, let's go head back to the Apprentice Scholar and check in with him to see if he's done assembling his list of grocery items for us. All right, we're back with Rag. We gotta complete a quest by coming back to Rag. But Rag says, "Now, my friend, let us begin, shall we? To free Lizardman of Charal's influence, we will need an alchemical potion. To make it, we will need a variety of ingredients. Like what? We need a variety of materials. Matberries, nettle root, veneral root, pine nuts, and scrubwort. Where can I find matberries? Matberries are typically found on the ground in the forest. However, they are easily collected from Hanadex. Okay, so where should I find some Hanadex? Oh, or I should find some Hanadex, yes. What else do I need? Nettle root. The nettle root is well-used herbal remedy, mostly treating forest flu. What's forest flu? Forest flu is, of course, being a disease that causes hallucinations and delusion. The manticore have been observed digging into the ground to find nettle root. To find some manticore, you seem to be catching on. What else do I need? Veneral root. The veneral root is a deep root found across Endor. Ewoks have been known to use Guriks as truffle pigs to find and collect them for their concoctions. Why don't they just use the boars on this planet? Why are they catching Guriks? Whatever. Let me guess. Find some Guriks, take them out, and search for them in their surroundings. Exactly. You're a smart one. You know what? You know that? Ha. Well, what else do we need? Pine nuts? The Panchi tribe collects large amounts of pine nuts for the rituals. Find members of the tribe and collect the nuts. Understood. What else is needed? Scrubwort? Scrubwort is a herb that grows on the banks of rivers, but is typically collected by large quantities by bloodseekers. Why do I need bloodseeker horde of it? We're not entirely sure at this time, but find them and you'll find a scrubwort. I'll get started. Good. We need to work fast to cure Lizardman. We're going to accept this quest. So this quest, it will start out by having us look for manticores and Hanadex. So this is why I said you should grab this quest once you can, because you have to go find all of these animals in the wild. It's a difference from the typical fetch quest where you have to go and seek for these things, and you can only do them in order. So while we're doing our other activities, we're going to be listening to the flaps of wings like the ones coming nearby. And we're going to be slaying them. Now, the majority of these creatures can be found via mission terminals, but not all of them. And we're going to get to that when we get to that. Some of you might already know which one I'm talking about here. Oh yeah, and of course it's a % drop chance, so you know. Good luck. That's the nice thing about having a pet. I can just go get it. And the pet just goes and gets it. I don't have to chase them around too much. Alright, well, there's some Panchies nearby, so I might as well... Oh wait, I don't have the pine nut ones yet. Oh, I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm gaming too hard, gotta slow down. Alright, well, we'll keep a lookout for other things on the way. To the, crashed shuttle. Man, should I even stop for wild spawns? Probably. Take my own advice. Didn't mean to activate the sprint stem. Gotta slowly reduce the health on this layer to get the next spawn wave. There it is. Yo, it's an Elder Hanadak Matriarch, baby. They grow up too fast these days. And it gave us a map berry, sick. So one thing that is something I have to get used to with this Beastmaster build is obviously I don't have all my melee abilities, and I don't even have my normal ranged abilities either. So toolbar looks very empty. Similarly, I no longer have the debuff purge or the dot purge. So when I get shaken from these hand attacks, I just have to cope. Also, no emergency shields. So I traded burst survivability for higher passive survivability effectively, if you want to think about it that way. Come on, I need one more berry. Give me your berry. Don't make it weird. Just give me your map berry. There we go. We're done with map berries now. I'm just gonna blow up the layer. That's faster than me trying to drop combat with these fools. Yo, a bunny, baby! I tame it. Ooh, it's a blue one, too. I tame it if I wasn't busy. That's one thing that I can do now that I'm a BM officer. I could stop to tame stuff. No way you would have flashed in a blue bunny. I know, right? I got buffs to manage, and I got a lot of Marauder Themepark left to do. I'm like, maybe halfway? Depends on how lucky I get with this quest. Yeah, I'm glad that old content that's inaccessible is being made re-available with some updates. Because like Ryan pointed out, a good amount of the writing is carried over from existing content that used to be active with this theme park. They did add more writing, expand some things, added some new side quests, and of course the rewards, which you've not seen all of them yet. So it's nice to be getting stuff that feels fresh, even though it's just revitalized. Like, I've never had the opportunity to do Marauder theme park, so this is new to me, technically. I need one more. This layer's exhausted, but there's another one down the hill. Get him, Yogurt. Show them why they call you the big Gurt in the street. There we go. There's our last nettle root. And now I can hunt Ewoks for pine nuts and Grex for Vener roots. However, looks like I'm finally out of inventory space. So I think on this drive over to this crash shuttle, I'm going to have to do some management here. All right, we're at the shuttle. We said shuttle found. After heading to the location provided, you found the shuttle. Crash survivors now can begin gathering comlink pieces. So kill more for the witch. Yada, yada, yada. Spring out the bat. Hello. Goodbye. You're back, the game is over? Well, my game's still going on. Anyways, you can see block coming here and here. I literally pulled all the NPCs and I just thought to heal and I was like, oh, I should probably heal. Well, now this is a big squad of 86s. I killed the whole spawn and I'm still missing one piece. The classic. Gonna have to wait for them to respawn. Oh, didn't need to AoE. I got off the first kill. Well, we'll just finish what I started here. Okay. Calm collected. As you finish gathering the piece, you spend some time putting them back together. Now you have a working comm link for Charal. Time to bring it back to her. Okay. Quest complete. Now you could drive back looking for, you know, Banshee Tribe Warriors or whatever else you need for the Scholar's Apprentice, but we're just going to ITV back. We'll worry about that later. Back with Charal. She says, goodbye, worm. I have no need of you now. Go speak with the king or something, but be gone. So she's basically like, I don't care what you do, just don't be near me. So let's speak with King Terak family, who says, Zingos tells me you are worthy of trust. You look like a weak-willed, oafish lout used to failing in your duties. That's quite presumptuous of you, King Terak. I think I could break you over my knee Bane style, despite being only up to your waist But anyways, we will quickly find the value of appearance. Great. You are to locate an Ewok holy man, an EHN, if you will. Destroy him and return here with the staff. I am told that contains power. Why do you need this? Because the staff has power. This power is our means for getting off this green carbuncle on the backside of the galaxy. Those who bring me the power will be rewarded. Power is its own reward. Yes, King Terak. Right away, my lord. Let's see if your actions are as meaningful as your words, slug. A patrol was ambushed near the borders of our territory. The leader of that patrol claims a solitary Ewok was able to send his men running in confusion with bolts of pure power shot from a shiny metal staff. Retrace the steps of the patrol, locate the Ewok, and return here with the staff he wields. Now go. Level 86. And just so you all know, I'm not ignoring Meepley. If you speak with Meepley, he still doesn't want to talk. He's still eating down on that good old blurred meat. So we'll just, leave him to it. Now, while you're out doing quests, and I said, you should keep a lookout for what the apprentice needs, and we're on Banshee Tribe and Guriks. I would keep an eye open for the Banshee Tribe, but I don't think Guriks spawn in this corner of the map. You'd have to go east a little bit or north again to find Guriks, I believe. Yo, wait, this guy's camp has a junk dealer. Hold on, I gotta do some inventory maintenance. My shit's stuffed. And I'm always like, they should have a junk dealer at the Marauder Stronghold. But I'm like, well, if we just put a camp down with one, then we'd have one. So I guess that's a W for camps. The rare camp W. Hold on, were those Banshees? Oh, hey guys. This is gonna sound weird, but I need your nuts. They had no nuts. Nutless. Man, there are Banshee tribesmen all over the place here. Good for me, bad for them. Why can't I just barter with them? Why do I have to kill them? Why can't I be like, hey guys, I will give you 5 glands and 2 brains for 5 pine nuts or something. Ewokonomics. And you have to program friendly Ewoks instead. That's probably the most valid answer I've ever gotten to a question like that, so I'll take it. I have many things, and one of them is reasonable. Usually. Give me your nuts. Yeah. We're done collecting nuts. Alright, so you hit the first waypoint, and it didn't actually have a pop-up box. We just keep searching. You're at SWG Dev, AMA. Why is the Talos Legacy your favorite part of the Legacy? Everybody, this is a loaded question. Spiders, next question. That's true, there's spiders in this one, and you worked on this one, therefore you like spiders. What's the next most thing you're excited to look at as a dev for SWG Legends? And as Ryan thinks about carefully wording that answer, we'll read, Ewok sighted. As you enter the clearing, you see it clear as day, an Ewok village. It looks recently constructed, and you can see an Ewok shaman seemingly directing the other Ewoks. Get in there and limit the Ewoks. Looks like someone's already here eliminating the Ewoks. Yeah, I know this is the village that you told me to keep an eye out for extra thingies. Oh, hey, look, it's Lucas. Wow, look everyone, BH tank. Well, while he kills those, we'll go explore. I'm not gonna snake his kills, he could do his thing. I guess we caught up to him. So this Ewok village was added here by Reese, according to Ryan. So I haven't explored it too much. So let's explore it together, shall we? Maybe we might find something fun. Wow. So far, just my familiar running around and my heck getting lost. This reminds me of back when they had a Flashpoint where that was set in Ewok Tree Village. That got moved out of rotation pretty fast because those of you who've played this game are very well aware that anything happening on the y-axis, as far as ground content goes, is very disagreeable. The game just never wants to show you where things really are. Line of sight just doesn't want to do its job. So, regrettably, as a limitation of the game, you just can't We can't have fun in the Ewok treehouses shooting each other. As cool as it would be, it just doesn't work. Engine limitations. I can't imagine what work it would take to make it not ass. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine how much work working on the Legends codebase would be to make this not suck. This, of course, being attacking something above you or below you. Neat village. It's reminiscent of the Ewok village on the east side of the planet where I had to go pick up the pot of flowers and then I killed all the Ewoks. Specifically because it has this weapon rack in the middle of the village. Because I remember that weapon rack being on the other village and be like, is that a thing? And then I tried clicking on it. I was like, no, it's not. It's just decoration, I guess. Okay, well, I guess I should probably go kill the Ewoks now, huh? I'm actually close to the shaman, so I guess I'll just start with the shaman. Alright, shaman staff acquired. We gotta wait for him to come back. I killed them all. Alright, we finally defeated them, so staff taking. Contrary to what you expected, the staff you retrieve is simple. A long, metallic, permanently forged metal staff. You don't think there's anything special to it, but who are you to go against the king? So it looks like it's just a normal metal staff. The king got played for a fool. Alright, well, let's head back to the king. Back with King Terak, he says, this is the staff? This? It looks like a simple metal staff. It is a simple metal staff. Guards, bring me that deceitful worm Indar before the king. You back away from the king, giving him space as his guards come in and speak to him. Fool, come here. The staff did not contain power, but I will not let that reflect upon your performance. It will, however, figure into my punishment of Indar for failing me. Then, inventing lies to cover up his cowardice and incompetence. He's run off, but I trust he will not be hard to find. You are to follow his trail and execute him in the name of Terak, king of the Marauders. Why am I supposed to do that? Silence, fool. You will perform this task for the simple reason I told you to do it. And if you fail me this time, you may be my own men who pursue you for your just reward. Of course, King Jorak, I will kill the traitor Indar. Go. The signs of his departure should be visible in the citadel and easy to read. Spare no extravagance of pain in his demise. Level 87. So after getting the mission to go defeat Indar, we could talk to Meeply again, who says, thank you for helping me out. Helping me to get me out. I think we'll need some help. Who can we get to help you out? The scholars of this tribe have seemed sympathetic to the plight of me and my brothers, who have been captured by Charal. So should I go speak to one of the tribal scholars? Yes, I think that'll be best. Go speak to them and try to convince them to help me. This will give us the other Marauder bicep. So let's go speak with Mago. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy here? I've got technology to catalog. I'm hoping you could help me. I wanted to free that Ewok Meeply. He's being held by Charal. Yeah, why should I help? Wouldn't it risk my neck with the witch? I can either say she's evil. She's been nibbling your fellow Marauders. Who knows what she has planned for Meeply? She's trying to eat everyone. Why shouldn't you help? Let's go for the first one. How do you know this? First one is I watch her eat an Ewok and use blood to hypnotize a bunch of Marauders. Second, she's manipulated Marauders to work against the best interests of the tribe. She was stealing technology for her own purpose. That's true. Stealing technology? Yes, I was sent by Scholar Zingo to check out a crashed pirates and retrieve computer parts, and she and her Hatter maidens already loot them. Fine, I'll help. What do you need? We're trying to figure out Charal's plans so we can figure out how to break Meeply out. Well, you want to infiltrate or attack her camp of Marauders under her command and check them for any orders from her. Okay, I'll go. I think I remember where the camp is. Good luck. Bring the orders back to me and I'll help you with your next step. All right, so let's do the Marauder camp first. It's a little bit closer than Indar. All right, let's make sure we've traveled to the camp before we start killing. Find Charal's orders. Do I just have to kill a lieutenant? Nah, nothing found. All right, we're going for density here. Let's There we go. I got Charal's orders. As you check the body of the Marauder, you find a small piece of flimsy. It's Charal's orders. She's written that the Marauders under her command must find and collect more young Ewoks to continue gathering their organs for a ritual that'll hit those who follow Charal off Endor forever. Okay. And the apprentice wants to see us again, so let's go talk to the apprentice since we're very close by. All right, here's Mago again. Have you done it? Have you found Charles' orders? Yes, I have them here. Excellent, let me see them. You hand over the orders to the scholar, and he begins reading the piece of flimsy. Interesting, so she's planning some sort of ritual and using Ewok organs, they'll be able to get off-world. This is purely evil. You should bring this back to your Ewok friend. What do we do after that? We'll need a key of some sort for your friend. Give me some time and I'll see what I can discover. But we can talk with Meepley, who says, did you do it? Has he been convinced? Yes, he had me retrieve Charal's orders to her minions. I have them here. You have to Meepley. Why would you give them to me? I can't read. What do they say? Oh, I never thought about that. Well, they say she needs her minions to gather more organs from young, pristine Ewoks. When they gather enough, they'll use it for a ritual that'll get them off on Endor. We need to stop her from harming more of my kin. Will you help me? Of course I will. Okay, give me some time and I'll play her next move. And you can see that here is the other style of bicep. Yay. So he has this long protrusion up here, but if we look at the other one, you can see it's a little bit shorter. So yeah, basically if you want matching biceps or mismatching the other way around, you can do that now. Meepley doesn't have anything else to say with us for now, so let's head out and find the trader Indar. Alright, we get up to our first waypoint. It says Indar sighting. You continue tracking Indar based on what King Terak told you. As you hit the next patch of forest, you see fresh tracks and broken branches. Indar is heading further south. Indar found. Following the tracks through the forest, you spot them in the distance. Moving further from the Marauder stronghold, Indar and his guards have been found. Eliminate them. Well, okay, I guess I'll just have to, you know, do the classic good old blow them all up strat. Indar's not here. I think somebody was just here and eliminated him. I can guess who. So we're gonna have to... Oh, there you are. There we go. Indar eliminated, but the plot? With Indar killed, you find a piece of flimsy on his body describing his involvement with Charal. It seems to be something of a journal on his part. And through the horrible writing, you can make out that he told the king about the staff on the orders of Charal. Nevertheless, now you can return to the king. Complete. Yay, 50,000 credits. Let's go back to the king. Back with the king, he says, Indar is dead. You have performed your duties tolerably. Wow, thanks. Glowing reviews. Now, do you feel it, my subject? Can you sense it? Subtle yet pervasive, lurking all around us. Something new is on the planet. My scouts report a ship has crashed. Not far from here. A ship must contain the power. Go and bring me the power. Why do you want to leave this place anyways? There was a time each of those who you see before you were kings of the stars. We rode great warships in the vastness of space, terrorizing the galaxies with the mere mention of our name. And now we must scramble to subsist, competing against miserable little fuzzballs who nub this and yub that. Can you tell me you don't want to leave as well? Yes, King Terak. Destroy any who defend the ship. Do what you will with them. Only bring us the power. Make a thorough search of the area and bring and all beings from the ship. Bring tools, parts, documents, anything you find. I can feel our inevitable return to the glory of the stars coming closer. Closer. I only have to reach out and ellipses. Cool. We gotta go find the crash ship. All right, we have come upon the crash ship. And we're gonna take out Hoogerwerf. So, those of you who remember my explanation of what this guy's for earlier, might already have an idea of what's gonna happen here, but surprise buffs. Heal them up. It's like my power-ups are wearing off, so let's refresh those. Alright, let's speak with the survivor here. Yeah, what do you want? Can't you see I'm busy here? I was sent by King Terak of the Marauders. He sent me to collect parts from your ship. Hand them over. Hand them over. Look, I could maybe help you out, but I gotta get my ship working as well. Return back to the Marauder stronghold. You can rest there while you work on repairing your ship. The Marauders will be greatly interested in it. And he says he chose his violence, I guess. And he called out his co-pilot to help fight, because I guess he doesn't want to fight himself. What a weenie butt. But yeah, we're going to use our Cougar Wolf here to tank this fool. Boom. Easy. Speak back to the crash survivor who says, basically, please don't hurt me. I hand the parts over. Come on, just leave me alone. So now we just collect the parts. So the parts spawn around this area randomly. They look like that. They're tiny little ship parts. You might recognize them as small mining tool junk items from Mustafar, or maybe from somewhere else. As everything gets used like a few times in this game, aesthetically speaking. Now these ship parts spawn randomly around the area, so you're just gonna have to walk around looking for them. They're dynamic, tiny and dynamic. Just like those spider eggs from earlier. Another player was just here, so they probably scooped up all the parts. Because this is the ship part dispenser's out, baby. They have super fast respawns. Well, I can only find like 3 of them. Okay, well that one appeared in front of me, no fair. I guess you can target them at least. So if you're having a hard time seeing them, you can use /target ship. And it should target the ship part. Alright, and that's our last one. Return to King Terak. For the parts you've collected, you can now return back to the king and tell him your success. Okay. Nobody's saving. 95k experience and 50k money. Let's go back to the king. Back with King Terak, who says, yes, I can feel the power in this device. It is great. It is mighty. The power has come to us. Zingo will know what to do with this. In the distant forest, you hear war drums banging and horns being blown. My king, what is that noise? Oh, those little fourballs are clever. They've spied our recent activity and guessed rightly that we are up to something. Can you believe the little beasts are actually coming to raid us? Of course you will stop them. I will go and stop them, King Terak. Good, be gone now, and defend our citadel. So this is your next group quest, level 87. This one we're going to get painting for, and 100k, and a good amount of experience. Let's accept that. Alright, so we're going to have to defend the Marauder stronghold from waves of Ewoks. I think for this one I'm going to use, I think we're going to use Yogurt. I think Yogurt will be most useful here. The enemies are going to spawn, like, in groups spread out a little bit, so they're not going to be necessarily stacked up for Wind Buffet. And Yogurt does a pretty good job of just picking an enemy, killing it, and then moving on to the next one. So I think that's our best odds. That's not what I wanted to eat. Alright. These Marauders are trying to help, you could say. But they're mostly here for moral support. You can't really rely on them. Alright, first wave down. Alright. After being the second wave, you hear shouting nearby. Friend of the Marauders. We need you to south. More Ewoks are coming. Alright, let's mount up. Yeah, so the pet toolbar has a function that other toolbars don't. So if you right-click an ability, specifically the specials, if you right-click Bite, this means that it'll only fire when you either hit a key that's bound to fire it or click on it like another normal ability. But if you right-click on it, then it'll automatically fire on cooldown, so you don't have to control it. And then the little arrow outlines on the far right indicate the beast's stance. So I can either assume a defensive or a passive. Defensive will attack things. Passive, it won't attack things unless it's hit. So like if it gets hit by an AoE, it will turn and start hitting that. But if you tell it to follow, then it'll stop. All right, here comes more waves. Wave 3 at location, or Wave 1 at location 2? Wave 3 overall? And there we go. That is part 1. So we get the credits, experience. The Terak says, my men are in attack to the east. I need to go there now. We're going to complete this, since will give us the Marauder King painting. And some of you may be saying, wait, you're not done? There's more to this quest? Yeah. Ryan informed me that there's a limit on the amount of steps a quest can have, or tasks, and I think it's 16. That's an arbitrary limit, I've been told. They're not sure why 16 is the limit, but it is. So they had to split this quest up to a few different parts. Morning walkers could be horde to the east. Get there and stop my minions. Stop them, my minions. I am just always a minion in this quest line, I guess. Alright, we're at the eastern part. Gotta fight off these dangerous Ewoks. There's another wave incoming, though. Ah, Yogurt was fighting this one all by himself. Good job, Yogurt. You've pushed them back away from the stronghold, but they must pay. Find and kill their war chief. All right, we got to mount up and go find the war chief. Now we're on the offensive. No more defense. Yo, there's Gurk over here. Wait, might be able to get progress. Nothing found. I ran to Gurk, so I guess Gurk do spawn down here. I don't know. I just don't see them very often down here. That, or maybe we're in a different zone. We actually are pretty far east, so it's maybe a different spawn zone. Alright, but we did find the Ewok party here. We need to defeat the bodyguards and the war chief. Which the war chief is the if you can't tell, he's the big one on the hill up there. It's because he's big because he's important. That's what I've been told. Well, let's take out his bodyguards first, and then we'll worry about him. We don't want these bodyguards backing him up. I guess we can take out the war chief. He's probably the toughest boss we fought today, but let me show you that I think it's doable without switching to our favorite Womp Rat. Hold on. This shaman wants a piece of me. Oh, and then it ended up here. Whoop. That might pull something. It's fine. See, look, my pets are strong. Mostly that dampened pain doing work right now, but it's about to fall off. Easy. Beastmaster easy mode, let's go. I mean, it was hard mode getting it online, but once it's there, it's pretty nice. The Ewoks have been pushed back. Good. You've done us a great service today. And there we go. That we've completed the main storyline on the Marauder Themepark. Cool. And you get 3 weapon options. You get King Terak's lance, sword, or blade. I already have this lance and the sword, so I'm going to pick the blade today, which I believe is the 2-hander. Let's check it out. Yep. Here it is. It's a big-ass blade. Pretty cool. The sword looks similar to this. And then lance is the long boy. Pretty cool, though. You might recognize it if you're a big Star Wars fan. If you don't, that's okay. It's still cool. It's King Terak's weapon. But we're out here. There's some Gureks over here. I still need stuff from Gurek, so I'm going to defeat them while we're here, and then we'll get back to Meeply. Big Meeply needs us now. Terak also might want to give us a high five or something. The Shaman doesn't like us, though. I wonder why. Alright, we're back with King Terak. He's having a moment here. He just says, you've done us a great deal of goodness, my servant. You should consider yourself an honorable marauder. Soon we'll be off this world amongst the stars. Alright, so now that we're done helping King Terak, we gotta focus up on these side quests. So first of all, since we're back here at the stronghold, let's go see if Meeply has anything else to say. Meeply says, psst, psst, Vom, come here.
Do you have a plan, Meeply? I do, partially at least. The scholar came by last night and said he may have a plan. He told me to have you come see me. Okay, I'll go talk to him. Good. We're close to being freed of this prison, and then we'll get a Marauder helmet style too. Here's Mago. You're here. Excellent. We've much work to do. I figured it out. Good. What can I do to help free Meeply? The work you must do is simple. You see, Charal gave the key to one of her war masters. What is a war master? The war masters are elite warriors of the Marauder tribe. They follow King Terak without hesitation and are some of the most formidable warriors in her tribe. The war master under Charal's influence will be a dangerous foe. I see. I think I'm prepared to face war master. Where can I find him? The war master is north in a camp of traitors, marauders. Find him, eliminate him, retrieve the key, bring it back to me when you are done. Okay, let's go eliminate the War Master. All right, we're at the Traitor Marauder camp. We're gonna have to refresh my buffs here. Let's we're going for an assassination here, so let's be stealthy like a cat. And take out our Kima here. She hasn't seen too much action today. All right, let's eliminate this War Master. All right, there we go. Got the cage key. Gotta go back to the apprentice scholar. That was fast. Back with Maga. Do you have the key yet? I fear we may be running out of time. I do. Here it is. Excellent. Bring it to Meeply. With this, it should delay Charal's plans for a time. Why am I giving the key to the Ewok in the cage? Maybe Meeply will explain it to me. Apes, do you have the key yet? I did. Here it is. You hand over the key to Meeply, passing it through the bars of the cage. Oh, thank you. You saved me. Once night falls, I'll make my escape from the cursed place. Then I shall bring the wrath of the Bright Tree Village down on the witch. And we got Marauder Themepark helping Meeply. Cool. That's it for that. We've finished Meeply's side quest. So now we got to focus back on finishing this remedy for Lizardman. So I'm going to go... we need to go find some more Guriks. Like I said, they're kind of hard to find around here. So I think we're going to head back to... one of the starports and start using mission terminals. So let's go do that. Oh yeah, so we got this Marauder helmet from Meeply. Can you spot the difference? There's no spikes. So it's a spikeless Marauder helmet. And all the items, by the way, that we get can be deconstructed and recrafted, including the weapons you can get from King Terak, like his blade. So they can be recrafted and used for style points. But here is a mission terminal. Let's go through. Bloodstain Marik. I might need that. Gurik. Hold on. I want to grab this Marik mission for later. We are gonna have to go after Marik's later on, so I'm just gonna grab that one for now. But we're gonna go after the Guriks. Alright, so I'm here at the mission terminal, the mission that I generated with some Guriks. Let's take out Yogurt, he's gonna help me. So same strategy as before, we're just gonna be slaying these creatures slowly until we find the item. Man, I only spawned 2. I've been doing mission terminal stuff with, like, you know, my groups. As in, like, my alts. So then you get bigger you get bigger layers. So I'm like, damn, there's not a lot of... Forget how small solo missions are. Damn, I should have looked for a second Gurik mission. I thought I was going to get more out of this one. I still need 3 more. This is the one quest that I'd say is for, like, the Marauder theme park is definitely easier in groups, just because you can get bigger spawns off mission terminals. Whereas, by yourself, you're going to be spawning smaller groups. Same thing if you do take the path of just hunting wild spawns. If you're grouped up, you have a couple of people with you, you're going to be spawning more creatures than alone. However, one thing that I do want to note is, as you've probably guessed, a lot of those quests that spawn things on top of you will also keep spawning duplicates if you're in a group. So, if you are doing the Marauder theme park grouped up with a buddy, probably, you know, spawn things one at a time. Unless you want a challenge, then you could spawn more. Might not be a challenge depending on your group composition, but I do know some people who've gotten incapacitated or slain on some of these quests for biting off more than they can chew. Oh, hey, here's some free Guriks. These aren't my layer spawn, but hey, they're here, so I'll take them. Oh, that's actually all the Venra root I needed. Yay! What do we do now? I actually have to go collect from Bloodseekers. All right, well, I actually don't need this extra Gurk mission because I found Gurks on the way, so we'll just abort. We'll keep that Marik one for later, though. So, remember how I told you to make that waypoint to the Bloodseekers earlier? I remember how I said, you know, not every creature appears in the mission terminal here? Yeah, this is the one. So, not every creature on a planet or specific variants of creatures will appear in the wild. And similarly, not all of them will appear on mission terminals. Bloodseeker mites specifically do not appear on mission terminals. They only spawn in the wild. How do I know this? There's a very excellent guide on the Star Wars Galaxy Legends forums for the Creature Slayer collection, which has badges involved, which I've been reading, and it lists all the creatures that don't spawn from mission terminals and only spawn in the wild and don't have fixed spawns. And Bloodseeker Butchers are one of those creatures. So if you're stuck on this one, remember, come back to this waypoint that I had you make earlier at the Bloodseeker spawn, and then you don't have to be driving around the planet, looking around, being like, where are the mites at? Where? Because specifically, you need the Bloodseeker mites. Tank mites won't work. They have to have Bloodseeker in their name. I've tried when I first tested this out on my medic, so we're back out here at this spawn, so it's a nice fixed spawn for this. And we're eliminating the mites here. There's one. Oh yeah, no, we got everything we need. We can leave now. All right, let's go back to the Apprentice Scholar. Are we gonna see more Pokemon added to my team over time, or is this the roster? I will be adding more creatures to VUM's selection, as I do have some gaps in my ability lineup that I am missing. So most notably, the experienced Beastmasters or people who've watched my Beastmaster videos know I don't have a pet that has the Shaken debuff, which is the strongest debuff to use in group PvE content. I deprioritized that because I had less than a week to level all these pets and then learn all the abilities that I needed for them. I also built up the suit, crafted this extra weapon, had to do all the bits and everything. So I deprioritized Shaken because I just didn't feel like I needed it. And the other reason I already had 3 pets, the rat, the Nort, and the Kima, is because when I was first collecting, incubating, and hatching the Vorpal creatures, I was helping document what their families are, what their bonus groups are, appearances, and yada yada, and helping get that information on the SWG pets. The information to added SWG pets was by Alana Rose. She has some permissions to access into that, but like some of the information, like the information about bonus groups and stuff, I provided and the only way to figure that out is by getting the pet, hatching it, and then comparing its stats before and after, and using a chart basically. And so I could have done them all on my medic, but my medic already has a feline. I didn't need a bunny on my medic, and my medic already has a tanking pet, so I didn't need the rat either. So I was like, well, I know one day I'm going to do Beastmaster memes on VUM, so let's have her hatch those. So those have been sitting in her dad pad for a long time, just never leveled or bothered with them. And then the wing clip talkback, I knew I wanted. It's one of my favorite pets in the game, so I incubated that. But yeah, I need to add a pet with Shaken to the roster. I think I want to add a giraffe. I really like the giraffes in this game, like the Sharnath. That's one of my other favorite creatures in the game. I also like the Tuskthune, which is like a mutated version. That one's pretty cool. But I'm still helping in the process of hunting for mutations, for appearance mutations on the new Vorpal creatures. We've only found one, and that was off of the Nort, which some of you've seen from maybe my other videos. The Vorpal, the Blackwing Panther mutates from this guy, the Nort. So we're suspecting that the Gubber, Womprat, and Kima have appearance mutations, but the process of finding those combinations of isomerase enzymes is long. We already know the lyase enzymes. I think the Gubber and Womprat individually have over 180 attempts I've done 100 of each for both the Gubber and Wellbrad. I'm over 100 on my own. So actually, they might be over 200. And then the Kima, I think, is over 100. Spoofy's been working on that one. So I'm hoping that one of them is a giraffe mutation. Then I just use that, and then I just keep... Because my pets unintentionally have a spooky aesthetic going on right now. It's 3 undead ones and a bat. So I'm like, I don't know, let's just keep it rolling. But who knows? We might not find any more mutations. We might find some in another year. We got really lucky on the Nort. Like, somebody just in the community was randomly incubating one, and just hit it. That's insane luck. Because people will tell you that sometimes when we know the isomerase color combination for a pet, you can have 50 stage 1 attempts and it not mutate once. And there's a lot of color combinations. So we're just going down the list of every possible combination and doing each one 5 times. And then once that's done, we'll go back down, make sure that they're all done 10 times, and rinse repeat until we find it. So it will take a while. But either way, I'm back with Raglith. The Apprentice Scholar is a good back. You're in good time as well. Do you have all the ingredients? Yes, I do, Scholar. Here they are. The apprentice takes the ingredients as you hand them over and nod, laying them out on the ground before him. Good, good. But we'll need more. Give me a few minutes and I'll let you know what else is needed. Yep, we're not done yet. Speak with them again. My friend, I know what we need next. What do we need, Scholar? We will need a variety of ingredients: the hooves of a Bordock, Myric claws, and the liver of a Gorax. Where can I get these? Fightmaster Jorak should have a lead on where we can find these. I'll go to him now. Thank you, friend. Together we shall free Lizardman from this spell. Level 86. Let's go back to Fightmaster Jorak. There was a community transmission a while ago that showed screenshots of like upcoming stuff for the Galactic Moon Festival, and in them was the Vorpal Kima, and it looked like a Vorpal giraffe type creature. I don't remember which kind. So I'm kind of hoping that that Vorpal giraffe is like a mutation, or maybe there's something like it. All right, here we are with Fightmaster Jorak, who says, friend of the Marauders, how goes your work for our tribe? It goes well, Fightmaster, but I need your help. How can I help you then, friend? I have discovered that Charal keeps a Trandoshan as a slave. Myself and some others are attempting to free him. Can you help us make a potion to free him? Yes, I've heard of the Apprentice's Potion. You will need some materials: Borak hooves, Myric claws, and a Gorax liver. Where can I find the Gorax liver? Rumor has it there is a Gorax in the mountains to the far west. I see, I'll go get it, but where can I find the Myric claws? The Myric are a half-arachnid race. They are found across this world. Collect their claws, and the apprentice will be able to extract the venom. I understand, Fightmaster. Where can I find the Borak hooves? This is a strange ingredient, yes, but the Borak move in herds across the world. They are abundant, truly not true. Thank you, Fightmaster. I'll get these ingredients. Good. Retrieve them and bring them back to the apprentice. So I say the Borak thing's not true. The Borak spawn in like 2 of the 9 zones on this planet. Or however many there are. Like, basically, you go to the smuggler outpost, go north, and like look around like the northeast of the smuggler outpost if you want to search for wild spawns of Borak. I believe they have a mission terminal mission, but luckily you only need like 4 of them. So if you come across like 1 layer, unless you have terribly bad luck, you should get those 4. The Myric claws are the harder ones. That's where you need 6 of them, which is why I grabbed that mission earlier, which I still have, which is over near where the Bordoks are anyways, so I might be able to 2-in-1 this. The one you think is the worst one to get is the Gorax liver. Because, oh man, I gotta find a Gorax. For those who don't know, Gorax are Star Wars versions of Sasquatch, or Bigfoot. Basic giant humanoid ape creatures that are very rare spawns. Much rarer than crates or Kimagillas, but work as a pseudo-world boss. Don't worry, we don't have to go hunt for an actual Gorax. This quest takes us to what I would call a reduced threat Gorax, and it's a fixed spawn, and it spawns back every like minute or 2 when someone kills it. So we're not going to be needing to hunt any of that stuff down. Now we also don't need to go fight the actual Legends World boss, the Gorax Matriarch. That'd be a pain in the butt. So thanks, devs, for not making us do that one. All right, we were at the Gorax sighting. And there it is. For anyone who hasn't seen a Gorax, this is it. Looking pretty grumpy. I like his big-ass slow walk, though. I don't know what it is. He's just got a little bit of swagger to him. At least I think he does. But that's not going to save him from my deranged yogurt. Get him, boy. He's so tall. Don't swat at me. I'll drop an airstrike on you, dude. Get this boar off me. All right. His death animation's kind of sad. He like falls on the knees and rolls over. Also forgot that they have custom death animations. Weird. Anyways, let's go back to the smuggler outpost and I am in my ITV and go to that Marique lair. It looks scary. Yeah, a little bit. All right, I have my Kima out just cause, but here we are. Time to defeat the Mariques. I hate the spawn of this layer, by the way. It being on the side of a cliff. Miserable. I gotta get rid of this Mantigrue. I'm just gonna... I probably didn't need SFP, but I'm just gonna... Oh shit, I didn't want to kill it. That maybe that was a low result. Alright, I'm just gonna blow this layer up. Clearly it's thin. Can still AoE despite being BM, huh? Yeah, I'm not missing any AoEs. Well, I'm missing Crippling Vortex, I guess. But that one didn't get any bonuses from the AoE stuff and expertise anyways. I still have all my AoEs, I just don't have as many single target attacks now. My bar feels very, very empty. Because I'm missing 2 ranged attacks, and I'm missing 3 melee attacks. And then I'm missing my self-cleanse and dot purge. I kind of hate it. I hate being this bear on abilities, but this is someone else's mission layer, by the way. I don't think shit spawns at level 90 up here, but hey, whatever. They left their food here for me, so I'm gonna eat it. Didn't even have to talk to the lair. Alright, so that was our last Marique Claw. Now I need Bordock hooves, but in classic fashion, they're not here when I look for them. So I guess I'll go try my hand at a mission terminal, even though I can't imagine finding a mission fast. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like, so like, damage-wise, it feels pretty comparable to my melee build. I definitely have like less burst oomph. But honestly, the pets are doing more damage than I think they do. Or maybe the long cooldown on Decapitate balances out with how much damage I feel like I'm missing. Because Leg Strike does okay damage. It's not like insane, but it's okay and more. And then the ranged attacks, Called Shot does okay damage. Overcharge isn't great. It's just basically a 50% bonus to normal attack, but it's an extra attack, I suppose. So, this is mainly Decapitate, where like, you know, I hit over 10k on a swing. So, but like, yeah, all today, I'm like, you know, these guys are dying faster than I thought they would. And then my pets, again, I mentioned in the Discord, but I haven't ran with the 120% armor bonus in the Beastmaster tree for like 2 years. Not because I don't want it, but because Medic doesn't have enough expertise points to get it. Oh, there's a Bordock lair. So I never have it. And, you know, when I remember when I dropped it, I was like, man, these pets feel way squishier now. But having it back and being able to compare 1-to-1, like how much damage my pets take 1v1ing like the chemo yesterday versus today, and my pet's like just tanking 4 or 5 things at once, I'm just like, damn, 120% armor is a lot of armor, because it's like a 4k difference, because pet armor without it's about 3,000 something, like 3,080 something, or 3,100 if they have like an armor bonus or something. With it, it's over 7k. And that's if you don't incubate for armor bonus, which you shouldn't. Don't do it. I'll know it if you do it. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of armor, dude. Plus, they also have all of my officer buffs, which officer buffs aren't nothing to turn your nose at. I still need 1 more hoof, dude. Is there just a Bordock around here? Oh my goodness. I'm having really bad luck in these creature layers. I think This went super fast with Griffin, but I think it's because of the extra spawns from the layers, and also he was able to grab layer missions at the same time, so we could, like, multitask. So this part's definitely, I would say, is better with a friend. Oh my god, there's a Bordock layer on my way to the Bordock layer. They were here the whole time. And I got it. Okay. Well, didn't need to look for that layer mission, just had drive slightly hours. Alright, well, whatever. We gotta go back to the apprentice now. Hoorah. Alright, we're back with Rag. Good, you're back. And in good time as well. What's that? Do you have all the ingredients from the Fightmaster? I do, Scholar. The apprentice takes the ingredients and says, hand them over. You lay them out on the ground before them. Good, excellent. Give me some time. Then come back and I will have the concoction ready to finish. Give it to Lizard Man. Alright, completed. Next. It's time, my friend. It's time to free Lizard Man. Go to him, give him this potion, and force him to drink it. From there, it'll take some time to come out of it, but he will eventually be broken out of Charal's curse. Be careful. I don't think she'll sit idly by as we take her favored servant. I'll head there now. Thank you again for the help, Scholar. You've done most of the work. I'm just glad we could do some good on this world. Good luck. And we get to pick a weapon at the end. Oh, boy. All right, guess what? Going to Lizard Man. All right, so we're here at Lizard Man. As you can expect, Charles not going to sit by idly. So let me get out my yogurt. And we're going to run our buffs. And we're going to refresh what buffs I can. Unfortunately, my biofocus and my synapse are... Wait, they just wore off, and I don't... and they're on cooldown, so... We'll just have to cope. Anyways, I'm back, Lizard Man. He seems to be struggling visibly. Have it? Have potion? Free Lizard Man? I do. Here you go. You give Lizard Man the potion. Tradition takes the potion, quickly chuckling it. He smiles and nods. His eyes become less hazy. Thank you, friend. And then Charal calls. You have tried to take my servant away from me, but you won't succeed. Your doom is coming. Minions, attack. And here are her minions, as promised. There's the first wave. We've got another wave incoming. I didn't mean to activate the sprint sim, but I did it again. Where's Gogurt? Gogurt made me sick as a kid, and I ended up vomiting, so I don't drink Gogurt anymore. I'll eat yogurt, though. We defeated Wave 2 with the final wave incoming. Where'd the squall come from? Get out of here. I like how sometimes they just spawn way out in the water. That lieutenant was like, I'll ambush him from the water. They'll never see it coming. What a dumbass. Yogurt finished that one. Good boy, Yogurt. Come on back. Oh, this guy's a tennis straight-up. I guess that's how he swims. Just freeing Lizard Man. As the last of Charles' minions fall, you hear a gasp from Lizard Man before he coughs and falls on the ground. He takes a minute before getting back up. Looking at you, the haze cleared from his eyes. You freed him. Let's speak to Lizard Man. The Trandoshan looks less hazy. His eyes clearer. Lizard Man, are you okay? I am, yes. And I am not a Lizard Man, as Charal named me. I am Sisk his. Well, Sisk, it's good to meet you finally then. I'm glad to know there are still good people in this world. Thank you for freeing me, friend. What will you do now? Now, I will rest. Then we'll begin working out a way to get off this world. And now we've completed the Marauder theme park and side quests. And you get rifle, carbine, pistol. I already have the first two, so let's grab the pistol and let's check that out. Like the others, they can be deconstructed and recrafted. There it is. Pretty cool. No trigger guard. Fuck it, we ball. Who cares about safety? We're on Endor. We don't need that shit. Alright, that's it though. But is it? We gotta go back to the Marauder Stronghold now. I don't need to see you ever again, though, Lizard Man. Goodbye. Alright, we're back at the Marauder Stronghold. And things aren't over yet. So first, though, before we continue, let's take an appraisal of our credit count here. So this is after selling some junk loot, and I still have some junk loot to sell. But we've made... So we started the day with a million credits. We currently have 2,221,120 credits. So if we subtract our 1 million we started with, you get a nice 1,221,120 credits after all that's said and done. But there's still more money to be made. 375,000 credits, in fact. King Jorak might be able to turn us on to this. Says my friend. Oh, it's getting crowded in here, guys. My friend, my good loyal servant, I have need of your services. How many services, King Terak? The Ewoks mass for another attack. Again, my friend. Lead my forces to battle once more. Push their warband back. I will do it, my king. I look forward to hearing of your victory in battle, my friend. So this is the first of 3 daily quests that you can do once a day. Each one gives like 102,000 experience and 125,000 credits for a total of 375,000 credits per day. I'd say that combined, these 3 missions will take a player less than 30 minutes to do. We're going to slam through them right now. After speaking to King Terak, you come down to Jesk, a novice fighter, who says, what is it? What do you need of Jesk, novice of the Marauder tribe? I hoped I could keep working with and supporting the Marauder tribe. I may know of a way you can help us. How do you feel about the witch Charal? I do not like her one bit. Something is off about her. Exactly. I've said it to some before and have been laughed off. She is planning something, but I think we should stop it. What would you like me to do? Far from here, there is a camp of her followers. Far? It's like right on the other side of the hill. They are led by one of our war masters. Go there and thin their numbers. I will do it, Jesk. Good. I will be here when you return. I expect to hear news of your victories. So this is the second of the 3 dailies. And then the third is from Ranta. What do you need me, Outlander? I am looking to aid the Marauder tribe. I have heard that you are one of the scholar's apprentices. You have heard correctly. I am Ranta, apprentice of the scholar Zingo. How can I help you, Ranta? My kin and I have been working to undermine Charal. Charal? Why? The witch corrupts our king's mind. She gets my brothers killed. Will you help? What am I able to do to help? Charal enslaves Ewoks for her sadistic and terrible rituals in the camp of some of my lost brothers. She keeps them as prisoners. Free them. I shall do it, Ranta. Good. Return to me when you're done. All right, well, let's go locate the Traitor Marauder camp and deal with the trapped Ewoks first. Then we will worry about defending the stronghold. And then finally, we'll deal with the War Master and his forces. So here we are at the Traitorous camp. And here we have to hinder Charles Pan, eliminate Traitor Marauders. And then we have to free the Ewoks. Yeah, Yogurt's fine here. Yogurt's hungry, though. Alright. Apparently the Lieutenant doesn't count, so it's just the Traitor Marauder that counts, so don't worry about killing the Lieutenant, I guess. One more. Well, I guess I'm having 2. Alright, now let's free these Ewoks. Wow, it explodes, and good thing the Ewoks... Okay, there he goes. He's running away. How far are you going to get before you disappear? Oh, wow, he runs for a while. Alright. Well, I'm not chasing him all the way. Go! Be free! All of you, be free! Escape! Ewoks freed. With the last of the traitors killed and the Ewoks freed, you've done your part in stopping Charles' plan. Okay, and there we go. It's all done. There they go. They're just going. Oh, there they go. They're gone. All right, so now with the Ewoks freed, let's go defend the Marauder stronghold. All right, let's get ready. Now, you do not have to do the full defense. This won't take as long. You're just going to have to defend the stronghold, and then we're going to have to move out from here. But we do have to go defeat the War Chief again. We don't have to defeat all his bodyguards like last time, after we fought off this wave. So if you had difficulties fighting the War Chief before, this daily might be a little bit of a challenge for you, but like I said, should be pretty easy. The hard part is not pulling all of the other Ewoks around him. They seem to have like an abnormally wide radius for becoming aggressive. That might just be, you know, the y-axis coming into play though, so distances get walked out. I just feel like anytime I get near this hill, everything wants to kill me immediately. So we're gonna try and leverage Beast Mastery here to make this a little easier. And by that I mean we're gonna do a good old pet pull. Nice thing about Beastmaster is you can just pull things from like 250 meters away. Is that always a good thing? No, not really, but it is nice for our purposes. Oh, Bright Cheever. Here he is. I'm gonna pet pull him down here. Come down here. Alright, now get him. I did not do the hate buff, but whatever. This guy, I don't know if he came over to help me or if he needed the kill. Raid thwarted. With the death of the war chief, the Bright Tree Ewoks are sent retreating into the forest. For now, you've given the Marauders some respite. Boom, another one. Alright, now I guess we go deal with the War Master. Alright, we are not the War Master's camp. Put that on. We gotta reapply our buffs here. Alright. So we need to kill the traitor, strongmen, magnates, and the War Master himself. Well, the War Master's right there, so let's just start with the boss. Wow. Of course my inventory is already running out of space. Whatever, man. It's mostly garbage. I do recommend that when you're doing this daily to start with the strongmen, because there's only 9 strongmen and you need 10. Plenty of magnets, so kill the strongmen first. That way by the time you're done with the magnets, hopefully the strongmen are starting to spawn once again. That's my pro gamer tip for this one. Oh, I didn't even need to attack this last group. Now I'm just doing it for funsies. Alright, well, while I wait for them to spawn, I guess I can keep clearing out my inventory. Not too much to delete, actually, just a lot of garbage. Here they are. Oh, I need to do those AoEs. Well, traitors eliminated. With the traitors eliminated, you have done your job. And you can return back to the stronghold to celebrate your victory over the traitors and their leader, Charal. Yay! Let's go back to our stronghold and celebrate the victory over the traitors and Charal. Yay! Alright, so back at the stronghold, if we tell Jessica of our success, I can say I hope. Yep. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, so if you go back and talk to them again, they'll say, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but for now we must wait before we move against her again. Come back to me tomorrow. So they'll all just basically tell you, like, hey, good job. I don't need anything else from you. Come back tomorrow. But if you've done everything here, you should have a badge. Brand new shiny badge for all those badge hunters out there. I believe it's under theme parks. Yep, there it is. Marauder theme park badge. And if you're in the midst of this quests, there is a new entry on the achievements tab here under Marauder theme park. We could see the main storyline progression, helping Meeply, and the Lizard Man one, and then there's the badge icon again. And this does give you the title. Champion of the Marauders, I believe, is it? Yep, Champion of the Marauders. There it is. Vum is the Marauder champion now. Whoa. But that's the refreshed and renewed and new Marauders theme park. Hope you all have fun with it. I appreciate the new addition, especially as a nice stepping stone for newer players getting to 90 or just having hit 90 and needs a source of credits. Doing those 3 dailies is pretty fast, especially if you have a friend to come help you out with those. And it is a good piece of content for the server overall. It definitely fills a niche that wasn't quite being completely filled yet. But let me all know what you think of it, either from, watching this video, or if you do it yourself, let me know. Also, let me know what you think about the Officer Beastmaster. Do you miss all my buttons that I used to push? I kind of do. But I also like my pets, because they're nice. And I can make them do tricks. Alright, see you all next time. Stay hungry.